Hey everyone, my name is Komal, and today for the spotlight interview, we have here with us Ariful. Ariful works as a senior compliance officer at CFIA and a part time professor at Algonquin College. Hi Ariful, thank you for being here with us today.
Hi, Kamal. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Hi. So, now starting with our interview. So, our first question is Ariful, could you please share a bit about your professional journey after completing your studies? How did you get started with this field? What were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome these?
Yeah, so good question. Again, I really appreciate a great initiative, and thank you again for giving me the opportunity. All right, so basically, I completed my master's in human nutritional sciences from the University of Manitoba. Before that, I earned a bachelor's and a master's in food and nutrition in Bangladesh. I started my career at Steritech as an auditor, or you can also say like food safety specialist in Regina, Saskatchewan. And then I got transferred to Calgary, Alberta. Later, I moved to Cornwall, Ontario, and worked in quality control at Biscuit Leclerc. Um, I also worked as a chemistry lab analyst at Lactalis Canada in Ingleside, Ontario. Currently, as you mentioned earlier, so I'm a senior compliance officer at the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. After completing my master's, I was eager to apply what I would learn and dive into my field. I applied for several like lab-related jobs, food safety, quality control positions, and went through multiple interviews after graduation. My first role at Statec involved auditing various restaurants and grocery stores, where I quickly, realized that while my academic knowledge was solid, the practical side of the job came with its own set of challenges. This learning curve was steep, especially in adapting to the first pace for multitasking required in the industry. And then I quickly understood the importance of transferring my academic skills to a professional settings, basically. So skills like critical thinking, data analysis, scientific research proved invaluable, right? Especially for understanding complex issues and problem solving in a fast-paced environment. Over time, I gained confidence and learned to adapt to new challenges. I found that staying flexible and committed to continuous learning has been key to my professional growth. Each role taught me something new, and I continued building a network of colleagues and mentors who offered support and insight. So, looking back, these early experiences taught me resilience and helped me to develop a proactive approach to for problem solving, which has been instrumental in my career. Yeah.
Yes, Ariful, you have a lot of experience, and I'm sure we are going to learn a lot from you today. So, Ariful, working as a full time professional at CFIA and a professor at Algonquin College, what inspired you for these roles, and how do you balance both industry and teaching?
Um, okay, so before answering this question, I would like to give you a disclaimer. So basically, here, opinions, or I'm sharing my information are my own and not of organizations I'm affiliated with. Just my own opinions, right? Personal views. All right, so to get to your question, so balancing my full-time role at CFIA and also with teaching at Algonquin College has been both rewarding and challenging but manageable. Basically, I teach once a week in the evening. And my work is kind of manageable. So it requires careful time management and a strong commitment to both fields. But I am like passionate about each role and find that they complement each other in meaningful ways. So teaching only once a week allows me to stay deeply engaged with my work at CFIA. So working full time at CFIA, keeps me up to date with current practices, regulations, and real world applications in food safety, public health, right? I feel great that as a public servant, I'm contributing to CFS mission, as you know, like dedicated to safeguarding food, animals, and plants, which enhances the health and well-being of Canada's people environment, and economy, right? So, to add a little bit, so teaching at Algonquin College is something, I have always passionate about because I enjoy inspiring the next generations of professionals and sharing the knowledge I have gained over the years, right? Knowing I can make a positive impact in both spaces keeps me motivated and also makes the balancing act worthwhile. The combination of teaching and industry works, it gives me a sense of fulfillment, allowing me to contribute both to my field and to the education of future professionals.
Okay, so Ariful, do you feel there are any specific skills or knowledge that you acquired during your academic studies and find really useful in your day-to-day work?
Absolutely. There are several skills and areas of knowledge from my studies that I find invaluable in my day-to-day work. First and foremost, the analytical and critical thinking skills I developed during my master's have been essential. My background in food and nutrition has been incredibly useful in my role at CFIA. The scientific foundation I developed during my studies, particularly in food safety, microbiology, and public health, it keeps me to understand the complex issues surrounding food safety and quality. So this knowledge is crucial when assessing food products, evaluating compliance with health regulations, and ensuring the safety of food supply chains. The analytical skills, I gained through my studies have also been invaluable. My education trained me to think critically and also systematically, which is essential in addressing the public health challenges we face daily. Additionally, another point I would mention, so the communication skills, like I honed during my studies have been invaluable as well. Whether I'm collaborating with colleagues or liaising with external stakeholders, the ability to explain scientific principles in a clear way is vital. So my studies in food and nutrition provided both the knowledge base and the practical skills that I use constantly in my role at CFIA. Overall, I would say like my studies equip me with both the technical expertise and the transferable skills necessary to excel in my field.
Okay. So, what do you think are the biggest challenges that students face when they transition from their academic area to the professional world? And what would you suggest they should do to prepare themselves for that transition?
Again, great question. So one of the biggest challenges students face when moving from academia to the professional world is adapting to the pace and expectation of the workplace, right? So in a professional environment, especially in the fields like food safety, laboratory work, things move very quickly and decisions need to be made efficiently. Another challenge is applying theoretical knowledge to real world situations, right? In a school, there's like strong emphasis on theory and research. But in the workplace, you are expected to make practical decisions that impact public health and safety. So this transition can feel overwhelming, especially if you haven't had much hands-on experience. To prepare, I encourage students to seek internship, co-op programs, or like volunteer opportunities that provide real-world exposure to their field, right? I would also recommend developing strong communication and teamwork skills, right? As collaboration is a big part of most professional roles. Finally, staying curious and committed to continuous learning is a key.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So, Ariful, reflecting on your career path so far, is there anything that you think you would have approached differently or during your academic studies, or you wish you would have received earlier?
Like looking back, one thing I would have approached differently is embracing networking earlier in my career. Early on, I focused heavily on building technical skills, but I did not realize how important it is also build relationships within the field. Networking opens doors, right, as you know, and provides support and allows you to learn from others' experiences, which can be invaluable, especially when navigating challenges, right? I also wish someone had, emphasized the importance of adaptability. The professional world and fields like food safety and public health in particular are constantly evolving due to new regulations, technologies, and societal needs. So, if I could offer one piece of advice to those starting out, it would be to actively seek mentorship. Having mentors can provide guidance, perspective, and support, especially when facing big career decisions.
Okay. So, are there any skills that you gained on the job that you feel would have been beneficial if you learned them in your academic studies?
Um, Working in the field has given me a few key insights that I wish, excuse me, I had been more prepared for during my academic studies. One of the most important is project management. Learning how to prioritize tasks, manage time effectively, and keep projects on track is essential in the professional world. Another skill that would have been beneficial to develop earlier is stakeholder communication. Knowing how to communicate complex scientific information in a clear, accessible way is invaluable. And I think more focus on practical communication skills in academic programs could really help students. Lastly, I've learned the importance of adaptability, being open to change, developing this flexibility, and learning how to stay current with industry trends would have been incredibly useful during my studies. These are skills I have earned and I have learned on the job, and they're key to thriving in any professional environment.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. And so, Ariful, are there any specific certifications or trainings or some kind of practical experience that you recommend for students to gain, specifically for those who want to enter into the biotechnological field?
Um, all right, so for students aspiring to enter the biotechnology field, I would definitely recommend seeking additional certifications and practical experience to stand out in this competitive industry. Like certification in areas like good manufacturing practices, like GMP, good laboratory practices, GLP, and IOC standards can be very beneficial. To be honest, my background is not directly in biotechnology, like food and nutrition, but I also had some courses related to biotechnology, right, and microbiology and biochemistry and all that. So I'm just giving in general idea and some suggestion from my experience. Additionally, uh, training in data analysis and bioinformatics is incredibly valuable, right? Proficiency in Microsoft Excel's, um, statistical software, for example, SPSS or SAS or R can enhance your employability. Many companies now look for candidates who are not only skilled in wet lab techniques, but also in analyzing and interpreting data, right? So that's why like learning statistical analysis is very important. Practical experience is also key. So internship, co-programs, or lab assistant roles can provide hands-on experience with lab techniques, equipment, and real-world applications. So if possible, look for projects or research opportunities that give you direct experience in areas like molecular biology, microbiology, genetic engineering, etc. Right? Lastly, I encourage students to develop strong communication and project management skills. Also, certification, like if someone is interested in like food safety, quality control, or related to this kind of job, they can also look for some certifications on like food safety, HACCP, regulatory affairs, internal audit. This will help to get a job in food industry, especially in quality control and R&D roles.
Thank you so much for your advice on this, Ariful. So, could you share any resources or networking opportunities that have been useful for you after entering this industry?
Yeah, so I have found LinkedIn to be a powerful tool for networking, right? And staying connected with colleagues and industry leaders, engaging in relevant groups, following industry news, and participating in discussions have been beneficial in growing my professional network. For students, like they can attend job fair in the college or in the city. They can reach out to their professors. They can like attend workshop at career centers. They can join some seminars, webinars, right? So those are like really helpful, and it will be beneficial for them in future. There are a couple of professional organizations as well, right? So, for example, probably you have heard about like BioTalent Canada, Canadian Society for Bioengineering, CSB, and the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, BIO. So these groups often host conferences, seminars, and different networking events, right? So these are helpful to connect with professionals from various sectors, stay updated on industry trends, and even discover job opportunities. So for practical knowledge, I frequently turn to online learning platforms like Coursera and Udemy, right? So which offer specialized courses in biotechnology, data analysis, project management, and lastly, I would say like mentorship is also important, right?
Yeah. Okay. So for students specifically without access to co-op programs, what steps would you suggest them to take to enter the biotech field or so that they can gain some experience and make themselves more competitive in the job market?
Yeah, again, good question. So, one effective approach is to pursue internship um, or volunteer roles with organizations related to their fields, such as labs, research institutes, or companies in biotechnology. Even short-term volunteer work or shadowing experiences can provide valuable exposure to industry practices and help build connections, right? Some professors, like welcome motivated students for part-time research assistant roles, and completing a small project can give you a hands-on experience and potentially lead to published work, which can be a great addition to your resume, right? So consider taking online certifications in areas like laboratory techniques, data analysis, project management, as I mentioned earlier, like platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or LinkedIn Learning offer a variety of courses. Sometimes they offer like free courses or discounted courses, all that. So additionally, networking is key. Attend industry webinars, conferences, and virtual networking events. Finally, I would encourage students to build a strong online presence, like creating a good LinkedIn profile that highlights your skills, your certifications, and any project yeah, students worked on can make more visible to potential employers. Yep.
So many students in this program are considering further studies such as master's or PhD degree. Do you have any guidance on how they should decide whether they should pursue an advanced degree and is it the right choice for them?
Um, well, like deciding whether to pursue an advanced degree like a master's or PhD is a significant decision and depends on several personal and professional factors. Um, here are a few key considerations to help guide that decision. So first of all, like I would say your career goal, right? So consider your long-term career aspirations. If you are aiming for a position in research, academia, or a specialized role in biotechnology or food safety, an advanced degree may be necessary, like master's or PhD. In contrast, if you see yourself like working in industry in more applied roles, relevant work experience and certifications may be more valuable than like master's or PhD, right? Like bachelor would be fine or college diploma sometimes work too. You have to have passion for the field. So reflect on your passion for research and learning. Advanced degrees often like involve a significant amount of independent research, coursework, and something like sometimes teaching as well. Like you can work as a teaching assistant. Another thing is like financial consideration, basically. So evaluate the financial implications of further studies, right? Like because
Yeah.
masters like and PhD, you may get scholarship and sometimes like self-funding, right? So industry demand, another point. So look into the demand for advanced degrees in your field, networking and mentorship. Like if you're confused, seek advice from mentors or professionals who have pursued advanced degrees, someone who completed PhD recently or a master's. And last point, basically like time commitment. So consider the time required for further studies. A master's program typically like takes 1 to 2 years, while a PhD can take several years, like 4 to 5 years, right? Roughly. Uh, so ultimately, there's no like one size fits for all answer. So there's no one size fits all answer. So take the time to evaluate your goals, interest, and your like circumstances, right? Yeah.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what is the ideal time for students to start their job search, specifically in the biotech field?
This is very important. So in the biotechnology field, like timing can be crucial. When it comes to like starting your job search, I recommend that students begin their job search at least 6 months before graduation. Like this time frame allows you to explore various opportunities, network effectively, and tailor your applications to specific roles, right? Another thing is like starting early gives you the chance to research companies, understand the industry landscape, and identify positions that align with your career goals. It also allows you to gain insight into the skills and experiences that employers are looking for, right? Like helping you tailor your resume and cover letter accordingly. Additionally, many companies, especially larger ones, begin their recruitment process well in advance of graduation. Also, many students find success in securing roles a few months post-graduation by being persistent and proactive in their search. So basically, I would recommend like start searching for the job at least 6 months before graduation.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Okay. So, would you be open to students connecting with you on LinkedIn to seek guidance and build their professional network?
Absolutely. Like I would be more than happy for students to connect with me on LinkedIn. I believe that building a professional network is crucial for career development, and I welcome the opportunity to offer guidance and support. And another thing I would just mention briefly. So when sending a connection request, I encourage students to include a brief note, like introducing themselves and mentioning their interest in seeking guidance or discussing industry topics.
Thank you for your support on that, Ariful. So, finally, what advice would you offer to students who are nearing graduation or to those who are just entering a biotech program?
Yeah, so I think this question has two parts. So basically, like students nearing graduation and then students just entering biotechnology program, right? All right, okay. So I'll focus on students nearing graduation first. So, like first point, I would say leverage your network, right? So now is the time to actively engage with your network. You reach out to your professors, alumni, and industry professionals you have met through internship or events. Let them know you are entering the job market and seek their advice or referrals. Tailor your job applications. So customize your resume and cover letter for each application. Highlight relevant coursework, projects, and experiences that align with the specific job description. Another point is like prepare for the interview. Like practice common interview questions and refine your ability to articulate your skills and experiences, right? Like also consider conducting mock interviews with friends or using like campus resources. Being prepared will boost your confidence. That is important. Another thing is like stay open-minded.
Yeah.
While you may have a specific job in mind, be open to different opportunities, right? Like it's easy to get a job if you're open for different opportunities, right? Um, and continue learning. Although you are graduating soon, like never stop learning. Again, even as you prepare to graduate, keep learning. So these points basically for students who are graduating soon. And then lastly, second part, basically for students just entering a biotechnology program. Um, all right, so I would say engage fully with your studies. Try to understand your content, courses, try to achieve good grades, right? Um, Network from day one. Learn from your professors, like do networking at different workshops, seminars, events. Um, Students will learn technical skills eventually from the coursework. Another important point, as I mentioned earlier, is basically develop soft skills. So alongside your technical skills, focus on developing soft skills, right? Such as communication, teamwork, problem solving skills, right? Um, Another thing is explore different areas of biotechnology. Um, like there are different branch and different, so explore different areas and stay curious and ask questions, like cultivate a mindset of curiosity. I believe that will help.
Okay, so that was all for the interview, Ariful, and it was really nice talking to you. I feel really positive after talking to you, and I'm pretty sure other students will also feel the same. Thank you for your valuable time and your efforts. Thank you so much, Ariful.
You're very welcome, and my best wishes for the like students who are graduating soon and also who are entering the program. All the best.
Thank you so much, Ariful. Thank you so much.